All right, when looking at some of our platforms and the APIs that are supported, remember a lot of these are considered our off box, but all the way over on the left, we can see things like iOS XE, iOS XR, and Nexus. They're going to be supporting your RESTconf and your NetConf. All right, everything else on the left is going to be supporting, on the right, your REST APIs. Now, FMC does support the lightweight APIs for management. You do just need to enable it, and it's only supported on version 6.1 and later with your REST client. Now, we also have the API Explorer. So if you punch in your HTTPS, your management IP of FMC, and then /API/API Explorer. I don't expect you to actually see this on the slide, but it's in the courseware as well. You'll be able to basically see these open API specifications. So when you sometimes see it in the course, it'll be referred to as OAS. And this is all supported in versions 6.4 and later. And obviously the Legacy Explorer is still available, but part of the OAS is you can use your code gen to be able to generate sample codes. There's also sample codes for a variety of other languages. So if you want to see Perl or HTML or Java, you can certainly see some examples of those as well. Now, generally, we're going to need an authentication token before we can log in and request. So here are the steps to get that token. Keep in mind that token's usually good for 30 minutes. And also, we generally don't want to be using the same credentials that we use for traditional FMC, because if we log in with those credentials for any of the REST API stuff, it'll kick us out with those credentials on FMC. So make sure you're setting up a different account specifically for this. And of course, here's some additional information if you want to see your port numbers, your fully qualified domain names, your URLs, all that good stuff. And then some of the request methods are get, put, post, and delete. Patch isn't supported. So just a couple things if you guys just need a quick brush up. Gets are read-only. Puts are adding additional information. All right, post creates an object. All right, and delete does just what it sounds. Now, as far as Python goes, very, very common language. It's perfect for scripting, simple, effective, object-oriented. And it is supported on all Cisco devices for automation, especially for a lot of those common tasks. So anytime we're looking for, on-box interpreters or things like Python libraries for direct access, these Cisco devices can support all of them, right? So a lot of times we're going to be using those Python scripts to be able to interact with any of those, external APIs or any of the off-box automation, right? Like the REST and the NetConf. All right, so we can also see an example of the Legacy API Explorer. All right, so this is the older version compared to that previous snapshot that we saw of the newer version. But generally, if we need to automate any sort of tasks, object and policy creation, device registration, retrieving of any of our audit records, automation is a great way for us to try to automate this across, multiple different devices. All right, so keep in mind too, there are a ton of tools for common tasks found on GitHub. And let's see, is that everything? Yeah, this is pretty much what we were just talking about. Our Python scripts generally require libraries, so we can certainly leverage those libraries that contain, IP address information, host name, username, and passwords at the beginning of our code. Just makes that automation aspect a little bit easier. Code for generating tokens, and status code and display of the response. So, there's definitely a lot of additional resources outside of this course. For any of you that want to dig into this in more detail, obviously there are a lot of new automation and DevNet courses that are coming out that can support a lot of this. So there's lots and lots of resources that you can use to complement this, because we really just hit it from a very, very high level in this course. But if you need to dig deeper, there's a lot of free tools that are available to you if you want to dig into this in more detail.